Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about the eye and ear, our spatial sense organs. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the eye, and in the eye lecture we will talk about the different layers of eye from outer to inner. As you know, we have the fibrous layer, the vascular layer, and retina, and also we have the lens and vitreous body. The fibrous layer in the outer part of the retina eye divided in two separate parts. The sclera in the posterior side and cornea in the anterior part. And in the vascular layer, we have choroid under the sclera and ciliary body and also the iris, different parts of the vascular layer. And retina in itself divided in two parts, the retina pigment epithelium and sensory retina or photoreceptive retina continue with the optic nerve. Now we will talk about these structures in the eye. This is our eye, and here you can see total structures of eye. Can you close the door? Yes. In the eye, here we have the outer surface of eye, and this part is our fibrous layer. Here you can see, and also this part includes the fibrous layer. Here is our sclera. This part is the cornea area, and this junction between the cornea and sclera known as the limbus. Okay, here is limbus. The cornea and sclera generally composed of connective tissue, but the type of connective tissue in sclera is irregular dense connective tissue, but the core part of the cornea composed of regularly arranged connective tissue, dense connective tissue, okay? And this is this arrangement leading to transparency in the cornea area. Cornea from outer to inner have five different layers. Here is the surface of cornea from outer side, and this part is the surface of cornea in the inner side. Outer side of cornea covered with stratified squamous epithelium. This epithelium continue with conjunctiva and our skin epithelium. In the skin part, this stratified squamous epithelium changed into the keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. In the surface cells of the cornea in outer side, squamous cells have small microvilli in its surface. These microvilli help to protect the water in the surface of cornea. Water stay between the microvillus and our eye continuously wet with these structures. And also a fatty layer which come from the glands in the eyelashes cover the surface of cornea again, and this cover help to protect the wet structure of the cornea. Okay? Under the stratified squamous epithelium, we have the basement membrane between the epithelium and connective tissue in this part. This basement membrane has a special name. That name is Bowman membrane. It's a critical membrane because this membrane don't have regenerative function. If any scar cut the surface of cornea and this basement membrane detached or discarded in this part, the basement membrane or Bowman membrane can't be replaced. And you can see that scar in the surface of cornea. But if our cornea scratched from outer side in the stratified squamous epithelium layer, that scratch area can be regenerated and give its own function again. In the middle part here, we have a thick layer of connective tissue. In this part, we have collagen fibers and fibroblast cells with special angle to each other. This special orientation and angle of these fibers and cells give the transparency to this part. From inner side, we have the epithelium again. This epithelium is a simple squamous or simple cuboidal epithelium. This simple cuboidal epithelium name is endothelium. Endothelium, present in this one. Between the endothelium and connective tissue again, we have another basement membrane. This basement membrane name is descent membrane. Descent membrane. This descent membrane have regenerative capacity, and if any scar or if any pathologic situation occur in this part, the descent membrane can renew itself. Okay? Only layer without any regenerative function is the Bowman membrane. Okay? The other parts have this capacity. Okay. What do you think about the nutrition of the connective tissue in the cornea? How these layers give its nutrients? What do you think?
From blood vessels that in between that two layers.
Which layers?
A middle one. It's choroid. Yes, choroid.
This part?
No.
This-
Blood vessels from choroid. That one.
Blood vessels from choroid.
Yes.
This part? Can you show me this?
And here. From here.
But here we don't have choroid.
Okay.
Nerves. Nerves. Which nerve have nutrition capacity? The nerves need glia cells to nourishment. So
İçindeki sıvı değil mi? Sıvı var.
the flow in which area? As you know, normal connective tissues have high amount of blood vessels. So these blood vessels can give nutrients to the connective tissue. But in the connective tissue or stroma of cornea, we can't find blood vessels. Why? don't have any blood vessel in this part,
It's not living.
it's live. Because if blood vessels present here, the transparency of cornea is not occur. We need transparency here. So we don't have blood vessels in this. The nourishment of cornea occur from fluid. Which fluid? Fluid which produced in this part, secreted in this part, and come from here and goes to this part. Here, the fluid can transport via endothelial cells into the deeper layers, and the nourishment of this area occur. Okay. Can you understand? How is the regeneration of the cornea? Where is the stem cells of cornea? For example, if this part of cornea form a scar tissue or form an opaque area, this regeneration, how is occurring? The stem cells of cornea connective tissue present in these two areas here, in the limbus. And these cells can come from limbus into the middle side and replace with the old cells or died cells in the connective tissue of cornea. Okay? The stem cells present in limbus. So the limbus area is very important to cornea. Can you understand the structure of cornea? Okay. What is the structure of sclera? It's very simple. Irregular dense connective tissue have a role in the support of eye structures from afterstart. What is the other role of sclera? What do you think about the other role of sclera? What? Protect eye. Yes, this is the first role. What is the other role? The muscles of eye connected with sclera to move the eye. Okay? Muscles connect to the sclera from afterstart. This is the general thing about the fibrous layer of eye. Do you have questions about fibrous layer? Okay. Now, let me continue from the other anatomical structure of eye. In the eye, here, in middle side, under the sclera, we have the choroid layer, or the vascular layer, and vascular layer under the sclera known as the choroid, or choroid layer. Choroid layer cover the eye from after side, from the posterior side until here. After this part, here you can see this thick area. This area is our ciliary body, and in the ciliary body we have the ciliary muscles and ciliary epithelium and also the ciliary fibers or zonular fibers. And the end piece of the vascular layer is our iris. Cover the eye from this side and in the middle of the iris we have a hole. This hole is the, what is the name of this hole? The pupil, in the middle of iris. And also in the eye we have cavities, the anterior cavity and posterior cavity. The lens presented between the anterior and posterior cavity. And anterior cavity in itself divided in two distinct chambers with iris. In the posterior side of iris, we have this chamber or posterior chamber of anterior cavity, and in the anterior side of iris and posterior side of cornea, we have this chamber. This chamber is our anterior chamber of anterior cavity. Don't confuse here. We have two cavities, and the anterior cavity for anterior and posterior chamber. Ciliary body have epithelial cells in this part. Inner and outer epithelial cells. These cells have a role in production of ciliary fluid. This ciliary fluid secreted from the epithelial cells of ciliary process or body and secreted to this part, posterior chamber, and from posterior chamber via pupil goes to the anterior chamber. After, give nutrition and minerals to the cornea and receive waste structures from cornea. This fluid goes to the deep side of the cornea, this area. In this area we have the iris cornea angle, iridocorneal angle. In iridocorneal angle, in the inner side of the limbus, we have some channels. These channels known as the Schlemm channels. And the fluid goes to the Schlemm channel and then connected with the venous circulation and goes to the venous structure. Okay? And in ciliary body, we have blood ciliary band. Blood vessels can't directly connect with this channel. They present in this part, and from these parts, the cells of epithelium can give its nourishment and necessary materials to produce the fluid or ciliary fluid in this part. In the middle side, we have the iris, we have the lens, sorry. This lens connected firmly with the ciliary process in this part, with these zonular fibers. And as you know, these fibers and ciliary muscles have a role in accommodation. We will talk about that. And in the middle of posterior cavity, we have vitreous chamber. Here we have the hyalurocytes, which have a role in production of the vitreous chamber structure. And our inner layer, here you can see in red color, is retina. Retina divided in two distinct layers. The outer layer of retina, here you can see, is retina pigment epithelium and have only pigmented epithelial cells. And in the inner side here, we have the neural retina. In neural retina, we have 10 different layers with different cells, and these cells have a role in transform the light into the chemical neurotransmitters and transfer the light information to the brain via this optic nerve. Okay? In the middle of optic nerve, as you can see, we have blood vessels which enter into the retinal side. In retinal side, we have two blood retina barriers. One of them present in the choroid. Between the choroid and retina pigment epithelium, we have a barrier. And also in the deep layer of retina, again, we have a retina blood bag. Do you have questions related about the general structure of eye? Can you understand the different structures and the locations? Do you have questions from this part? Okay. We talked about these structures, posterior chamber, anterior chamber, and also we talked about the sclera cornea, fibrous layer. The sclera have a deeper layer known as the suprachoroid lamina or layer present in the outer side of the choroid. In some references, they say we have a layer with same name in the choroid part with suprachoroid name, and this layer also present in the choroid, but this reference or the Jancoera don't say or say this layer related only with the sclera. Here we have cornea. The layers of cornea is very important, very, very important. In our exam, maybe I will ask a question related with cornea and different layers of cornea. Corneoscleral limbus is very important, bone membrane. We talked about these parts. The cement membrane. Okay. Look at here. Here we have a high magnification of cornea. This part is our which area? Which epithelium? Outer or inner? This part composed of only one layer of endothelial cells. Yes? So this part is our inner epithelium. In this part we have stratified epithelium. So here is our outer epithelium. With this fact, you know his membrane is our Bowman membrane, and this membrane is our cement membrane, and the rest part is our stroma. Okay? Again here, what is the name of this part? Epithelium. After epithelium, stratified epithelium. What is the name of this area? Bowman membrane. Bowman membrane. Here is our sclera, stroma, sorry. And again, this part is our simple scalps or simple cuboidal layer. Endothelium. Under the endothelium, we have basement membrane or the cement membrane, and here again is our stroma. I can ask a question from our practice lecture related with these pictures. You should differentiate the outer and inner layer and also the membranes. We talked about limbus, channel of Schlemm. Okay. Look at here. This part is our limbus area, the conjunctiva. This part is our eyelashes, eyelid. And here is our conjunctiva, which continue with the cornea. This part is our connective tissue. Here is sclera. Here is limbus. And this channel is our Schlemm channel. This angle is our iridocorneal angle. This is our iris. This is our which structure? Ciliary body. And this is the lens. And here you can see zonular fiber which connected with the lens. Again, in high magnification, you can see same structure. This is our Schlemm channel. And in the limbus corner side, we have a meshwork known as the Fontana meshwork or trabecular meshwork. Here you can see connected with Schlemm channel. This meshwork is our trabecular meshwork or Fontana meshwork. And here you can see our iris. This is the angle. This angle is very important. What is the importance of this angle? What do you think? If this angle is closed, the fluid can't be reached to the Schlemm channel. So, the volume of fluid in the anterior and posterior chamber increase. In this patient, this condition known as the glaucoma. Do you hear the glaucoma? Yes, in glaucoma we have the high pressure of fluid in the anterior cavity of eye, related with this angle. Here you can see our trabecular meshwork, and in trabecular meshwork we have the connective tissue cells which form a network or meshwork, and between them we have the channels. These channels fill with the fluid, and the fluid of the anterior chamber move into this trabecular area and then go to the Schlemm channel. Okay. Let me give a break, and then in our next lecture we are going to talk about vascular leg.